The methodologies, the approach selection, which methodology, where you should use it. See, project management methodology is a system of practices, techniques, procedures, and rules that guide you in organizing your project to get the desired project scope. So, to do a project, you should have decided on two things. You should have read your decision in terms of what project life cycle would you be using on this project, and to implement this life cycle, what methodology will you be using. See, choosing the right methodology is very important. In fact, it is a stepping stone or road to the project success or failure. There are lots of factors a project manager should consider to decide a project management methodology, like cost and budget, nature of work, industry, team size, ability to take risk, flexibility, timelines, client collaboration. So while the project life cycle sets the high level structure and stages of a project, the methodology provides a detailed guidelines and techniques for executing tasks within each phase. So what methodology should you be using actually also depends upon the nature of work in the project. If the work is the known kind of work, like your typical construction projects, that there actually you like example would be your architectural engineering construction AEC projects, your EPC projects, your engineering procurement and construction projects. So there you are basically using the traditional waterfall methodology, the predictive approach you call it as. So the traditional approach where you do the planning, it's plan driven actually. You prepare the project management plan and then execute the plan. Known kind of work is where risk will be less as the work is known. EPC, EPC is a type of construction contract where the contractor is responsible for engineering services, procurement of material, and construction. Power plants, factories, gas development projects, infrastructure projects, and industry plant construction sectors are the typical examples of EPC projects. So, traditional EPC projects start with a planning phase, then a design phase, a construction phase, a testing phase, and a turnover to the user phase, followed by project closeout. So, such projects are usually delivered through waterfall approach, the traditional waterfall, or you call it as the predictive approach. If the work is unknown kind of work, you could talk about the technology project. We don't know how the final software product looks like. There you use the agile methodology, the software development project, healthcare projects, training projects, and other novel projects that call for changes on fly. In an agile project, changes have to be welcome. The requirement is dynamic. Example is like could be one of the example is like say Adobe developing a product competing with you know Microsoft Office. When we say example of agile methodology, to be a wild example is say making a sports bicycle. So the customer actually comes just with a concept in his mind. So if you use your agile methodology per se to make the sports bike, you first make a basic sketch of it, a prototype, and then you will be experimenting with each part of that bicycle. Customer will be involved at each stage. First, experimenting, say, with the weight of the frame, experimenting with wheels, tires with tubeless. When customer is happy with one part, then you go to the next one. If you're using a predictive approach to make a bicycle, you collect all the requirement, make the bicycle, and keep it in front of the customer. So the agile methodology is used in project management in dental office, process improvement projects, agile based learning. So when we say agile methodology, agile is an iterative and incremental approach. Or another question like being asked, why so many methodologies? See, no two projects are exactly the same. And looking at the project scope, goals, products, and industries, the project, you know, in fact, looking at the scope, goals, products, and industries, the project, in fact, needs a different methodology to ensure project success. So, Agile is an iterative and incremental development. Iterative with revision 1, revision 2, revision 3 till the customer accepts. Incremental adds upon the previous delivered scope. So in Agile, teams work collaboratively with the customer to determine the project needs. The coordination of the customer and the team drives the project forward. In the predictive approach used in your construction projects, AEC projects, the project needs, requirements, and constraints are understood, and plans are developed accordingly, and the plans drive the project forward. Hybrid is a mix of these two. It combines strategies from Agile and the predictive and can switch approaches based on need, changing work requirement, or circumstances.